Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake video. Today we'll be remaking Young Thug's track Relationship featuring Future, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's set our tempo to 146 beats per minute. And let's go ahead and start off with that main piano section. It's pretty much 4 chords that loops itself for the entire track. So today we're going to try and use all of Logic's stock plugins. We're going to use Logic's piano, Steinway Grand Piano preset. And let's go ahead and draw in that 4 chord pattern. So there's the 4-bar pattern right there. Next, let's just open up Logic Smart Control. And we're just going to push up some of the highs. So the tone here, we're going to push it higher. Just a little bit brighter, and we're going to push up some of the reverb here. All right, so there is our piano section right there. Next, let's go ahead and make that lead sound that we hear throughout the entire track. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And let's go ahead and we'll start off with this default settings that load up. And let's go ahead and program in that pattern. All right, so there's the pattern right there. Next, let's go ahead and open up Logic's ES2 synthesizer. Get it sounding more like the one in the track itself. So for the second oscillator, we're gonna move it to here. And for the third oscillator, we're gonna match the second one. We're gonna turn on unison. We're We're going to pull up our detuning knob right over here. In Logic, it's called analog. We're going to pull it up to about 10 o'clock. Next, let's go ahead and pull up our glide. All right, that sounds good so far. Next, let's go over here and pull up or adjust our ADSR. Let's go ahead and add in a little bit of chorus to soften up the sound. All right, so that's our sound pretty much right there. Let's go ahead and close that. I'm gonna bring down the piano a little bit. All right, next what we're gonna do here is open up a channel EQ. And we're just going to filter out some of the lows and some of the highs. And sort of boost the mid-range around 2K. All right, next what we want to do here is open up a bit crusher, and we're going to kind of distort this sound a little bit like in the track itself. Here's bit crusher. All right, so let's use this one. Let's pull up the down sampling to 4 and let's bring the mix down. It kind of has that little ring to it that the original song has. Pull up the drive a little bit there. Next, let's go ahead and bring in a reverb. Let's bring in Logic Space Designer or Reverb Space Designer. And let's bring in a large plate. Let's see here. Let's just use the stage plate. All right, so that's pretty much our foundation for the chords and melody. Next, let's go ahead and bring in our drums. All right, let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's load in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. And we're going to pull in the relationships drum kit I put together for this tutorial. And let's go ahead and program in our clap because it's pretty simple to do. Just make our drums nice and loud here. All right, next we're going to duplicate this and we're going to go ahead and just layer it up with a snare sound. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate this once again. And let's go ahead and draw in our hi-hat pattern. Now this is a fairly easy pattern. I'm just gonna use our brush tool and we are on 8th notes. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. All right, what we're gonna do here for the hi-hat is just open up an EQ. And we're just going to filter out some of the lows. We don't need that sort of harsh clicking sound at the beginning. And we're just going to boost a little bit up here in our higher frequencies. Make it a little bit brighter. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this track. Let's remove the EQ, and we're going to draw in our open hat. And now let's go ahead and draw in our kick. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in that white noise splash that we hear throughout the entire track. I'm just going to bring it in here from my side here. And here's the white noise. I'm just going to go ahead and just filter out some of those highs. Just so it's not so harsh. All right, let's duplicate this over 8 bars. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this effects track once again. The same white noise over here. And we're just going to double click on that region. Make sure you select File. We're going to go to Functions, and we're going to reverse that. Because throughout the entire track, this white noise I feel continues. And just keeps looping and building itself, so it crashes, then reverses back into itself. All right, next let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And we're going to bring in our 808. So for this 808, we're going to use Logic's ES2 synthesizer and use that 808 preset that we like to use. Here it is right here. Let's close that for now. And let's draw in our 808 pattern. Once again, it's only 4 bars long. So let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. All right, let's go down to a nice low octave. And let's start off with E over here. So let's get this sounding a little bit more like the one in the track itself. Just gonna pull up the attack a little bit. Let's pull down the release so it stops around the time when the MIDI stops. And let's go ahead and pull up the drive. All right, that sounds good just like that. Next, what we're going to do here is add in one more final step to the puzzle, and that is this sort of percussion that's happening in the background. It's sort of very cut off and sort of in the background. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So for these percussions, we're going to enlist Logic's loops. So let's click our loop browser over here, and up here in the search bar, I'm just going to type in percussion, see what comes up. And let's just choose one of these. All right, that one could work. Let's go ahead and drag that in. So like I said, they're sort of in the background and not in your face. So let's go ahead and open up an EQ and just filter out some of the lows and the highs. And then let's go ahead and bring in a reverb here, Logic Space Designer, and push it a little bit more to the back with a nice plate reverb. Let's see. No, let's go ahead with R&B plates. This is sort of like an R&B song. So that's pretty much the track right there. I just want to see on this lead if we can get it a little bit brighter by just duplicating this up one octave. Yeah, there we go. Let's maybe bring down the velocity. So you can already see that it sounds better there with that double up on the pattern. All right, so that's good just like that. Next, let's go ahead and just arrange this quickly. So this kind of beat goes like this for roughly 16 bars. And then we get into a section where it changes up a little bit. So we're gonna go over here again. Now what changes here is the kick and the 808. So let's go ahead and search for our kick here. Let's see here. This is why we should name our track. So here's our kick right here. So let's go ahead and change up this kick. All right, so the first kick stays intact. This kick gets pushed back, I believe. Then we get a little stutter kick action happening over here. All right, so that's our new kick. And then when our kick changes up, let's just do this, copy this over. Our 808 also changes up as well. Let's go ahead and open that up. So this F gets pushed back like the kick did. And then we just get a nice little high note up here. All right, so let's just copy that over. And finally, let's go ahead and just move this over once again. Let's copy this section over here. And copy it over once again. And sort of on the outro, so let's pretend that bar 33 is our outro. The snares change up. It's got to find the snares here. So here's our snares right here. So let's go ahead and open that up and change out the way it works for the outro bit. So that pretty much just is like that. So that's pretty much the entire beat right there. Now there are spots where they take out instruments and sort of do like a little drop and then come back in. But this is pretty much your bare bones skeleton to the entire track. All the stems are here. So let's go ahead and take a listen to everything we just did. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the remake that we just put together, Young Thug's Relationship featuring Future. So that right there is the remake of Relationships by Young Thug featuring Future. For your Logic users out there, I am going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys. Place that as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For your non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. As usual, going to export all the MIDI stems right here, include the drum kit that you saw in this video and any samples that you heard as well. So this percussion loop right here and the white noise splashes over here as well. You can find that playback in the description box below this video. If you have any questions on this video, you can ask me in the comments below. For more great videos like this one, remember thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.